Hello, everyone. This is a very special episode today because I have Daisy and Marc from the Yacht podcast. And yes, that is Daisy from Below Deck. I had such a great time interviewing these two and, and doing this podcast. Like, we just laughed so much. It was so fun. They're both just very easy to talk to, like chill people, which is great. And just an FYI, this was recorded like a week and a half ago or more, I think. Well, August 11th, it was recorded. So this was before there was the domestic violence charges about Nathan. So we don't talk about that, but it's because it hadn't it hadn't come out yet. We would have if it had. But it is funny because we do all at one point just talk about how like Nathan sucks. So that is kind of, fitting, I think, for everything that's happened. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. And also let you know that we talk about, Summer House, The Valley, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So like, it's not just about Below Deck. I did put timestamps in, but it is kind of a fluid conversation. But, go to those if you need them and enjoy the episode. Welcome to the Bravo Papers, a safe space for all us Bravo fans who love to analyze, deconstruct, and talk about our favorite Bravo shows ad nauseum. So join me, Bravo and Botox, and we'll catch up on all the Bravo news and read way too much into our favorite shows and Bravo celebrities. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Bravo Papers, Bravo Weekly News, here with your host, Emily, also known online as Bravo and Botox. And I have two fantastic guests here today. Very special guests, okay? We have Daisy. Yes, Daisy from Below Deck. And we have Marc, her co-host on the Yacht podcast. And he was also a charter guest, correct?
I was a charter guest, and
Yes.
just for your listeners, that is Daisy's morning voice. Don't get startled.
Listen, I totally get it. I do my morning voice sometimes on here. Sometimes I drink my tea whilst I'm recording, and they know what's up. Don't you worry.
Okay, good.
Okay, so before we start, I need the two of you to tell the listeners all about your podcast. What is it? Where should they listen? Sell it. Let's sell the podcast because you guys have a great show.
I kind of want Daisy to do it, and then I will come in with the real information because I want to know if Daisy even knows the name of the show.
Yeah,
So
like
Daisy, you hit it, and let me step in after.
Is Daisy paying attention to her own show? Okay, let's see.
Okay. So it is a podcast with Marc and I, and it is very lighthearted, as my mum would say when she's in a bad mood and she puts it on and makes her smile. And I was originally going to say you don't learn anything from it, but I'm going to redact that because I feel like you do learn stuff about it, on it. Probably stuff that's not valuable.
I just learned what redact means. So that's right here now you're learning.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very lighthearted and very silly. We've got a range of guests, going from Below Deck to, we've had someone who was a friend of mine and she's having a baby on her own to, I don't know, who else have we?
We've done the red carpet of a porn awards. We've
Yeah.
done
Ooh.
anything that is messy, we are there.
Yeah.
We will pull into port as long as it's messy because, the world is falling apart. We just want to laugh.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
Yes.
what it is. We're just there to hang out and laugh.
And I do say that I'm usually the one in the hot seat. It's usually Marc just making fun of me, grilling me. So it's a very fun, lighthearted, easy listening. Driving to work, you want to cheer yourself up after a rough day or put yourself into a good mood going to work. That's the kind of podcast it is. And nothing's off the table. It's very messy, very unfiltered. And how did I do?
I actually think you did really, really good.
I
very
think you
proud
did
of
great.
you.
Like that made me
Yeah.
want to listen more. And I'm sure, honestly, the listeners of this podcast, they come here for Bravo news and gossip. So they also are trying to escape, all the terrible things happening in the world and the world being the mess that it is. So, if you need more escape and to to not think about all that stuff, now you have another podcast to go to. So, and I'm assuming it's available wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, wherever you get your podcasts, we're on YouTube, Spotify,
Nice.
Apple. Our
Cute.
Instagram is Yacht Mess Pod. Yeah, and you can find us on what's that one? TikTok, the TikTok.
Oh, the TikTok.
TikTok.
We
The
love the
TikTok. And you
TikTok.
know what? Yacht is a hard word to spell. So that's another thing that I learned
That is
doing Yacht
true.
Mess is how to actually spell yacht. It's not an easy word. The
Yeah.
T comes last.
Yeah, YACHTMESS.
I was
Yeah,
just gonna test you guys
yeah,
on it. I was gonna be like, okay. Y
We
A
got
yeah.
it.
C H T. So you
Yes.
said for a minute that, at first maybe you were like, you don't learn anything on it. And then you were like, no, wait, we do learn things. Okay, we do. Okay. And I would like to tell you what
1000%.
one of my favorite things was that we learned from your podcast was you were kind of the ones who broke the whole Jen Fessler West rumor. Were you not? Do you not want me to talk about this?
No,
Happy.
you can talk about it. Let's put Mark in the hot seat. Yes, you can talk
I'm here
about
to put
it.
Mark in the hot seat because people
Um,
kind of put it together after, like they started to put together, and it was kind of Jen Fessler kind of did it to herself. If everybody remembers with that red carpet interview where she sort of was like, "Leave West alone. He's a sweet angel. He's a special boy." Like whatever it was she said, and then people went back to you guys and were like, Daisy's co-host Mark kind of talked about this. Would you like to give us any tea about that?
first off, happy birthday, Jen. It was her birthday this week.
Oh, geez. Okay, so
Um,
she's probably like, please don't talk about this anymore.
no, you know what? I will say this. I love Jen. She
Yeah.
has always been the most nicest, kindest, warmest, funniest person on the planet.
Oh, so you
What
know her
yeah, she's
personally?
come out to
Okay,
Fire Island. I'm friends with
nice.
Marge, and I met her through Marge, Margaret Josephs. So we had like teased something along these lines back at BravoCon in the
Okay,
bed. I had heard rumblings from something there was a housewife who did something. Now listen, I wasn't in the room, so I can't say
right.
anything for sure happened or did not happen. But the rumors and the words did get back to me.
Well,
That's how
I
it
mean, to
happens.
be fair to Mark, you didn't spill any names.
No, he
Right.
didn't. I was
The
just going to
most
say
he
that.
gave was at the East Coast, and I know Mark, and I kind of whittled it down. He's like, I'm not saying anything, I'm not saying, and then lo and behold, I mean, like 6 months later,
6 months
this
later,
Yeah.
people dug
comes
it up.
out,
Yeah.
and obviously puts two and two together. But yeah, she kind of did that to herself, so we didn't fully expose, but we were very excited that we were putting.
Well, I was
Yeah,
going to
because
say, wouldn't it bring
people
a lot of
dug it
listeners
up.
to your
Yeah.
podcast? Like,
It did. It
yeah,
Yeah,
sure did.
yeah,
yeah.
fair enough. Fair,
Yeah, because
like,
you're gonna get the tea. But we didn't
exactly.
fully expose anyone. She exposed that on herself, and you're gonna sleep with Wes. It's probably gonna come out at some point, as we've learned. He's not good at
Well,
keeping
and
secrets. So.
they still deny it. So we don't know, just,
We don't know for
yeah, we
certain.
don't know
And
for sure.
like judging by his nude pictures, did you really sleep with him if you did? It's not that big of news if you know what I mean. So it
I,
could have been,
yeah. I mean, I
we
have
we
to
don't know for
say,
certain.
I find I regard myself as very lucky. I never saw the West nudes. And I'm like, like if you know my Bravo and Botox account, like I do the Twitter and the threads like kind of roundup. So I'm all over there. Somehow they missed me, but you know,
I
We're
saw
coming up on spooky season, so
oh, you
I
did see
might
them.
send you it because
he's done.
if you like a little spook,
Oh
this
my
is
God,
the
that's so
place to
funny.
see it.
Okay, so first of all, I do also have to say something. My husband is a huge Below Deck fan. Watches every franchise, loves Daisy.
Shout out to him.
He
Thank
loves you,
you.
Daisy. Okay, his name is actually Stu. Not even joking. But I'm not even joking. He was so excited when I told him about this. Like he actually wrote questions for me to ask. So
Love that.
yeah, and we're watching right now Below Deck Med. Are you guys watching that?
We actually watched it last night.
We are. We watched it last night and we have Cooper on this week's episode.
Okay,
And it's so bad because he's getting all this hate and we're like, oh, awkward because he had such a bad episode last night. But he was a gem. We loved having him on.
Oh, well, he
It
seems
was,
really sweet.
oh, last night's episode, he didn't seem so sweet, but
Okay.
you know.
You know
Have
what?
you
I haven't watched
it?
it. No, I haven't
Okay.
watched it yet.
He
Okay.
has
Not a
a
great episode for him,
Oh
but
shit.
it I don't, you know what, he's young and he was super fun in our on our episode and we loved getting to know him. I think it's one of our funner episodes.
It was so good.
Yeah,
It's
but
so
it was
good.
bad timing because the women of America hate him today. So
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, I mean, you
Daisy
can't always
loves
plan
him.
that.
I still love him. I think he's just kind of showing his age, but we don't want to give too much away because you haven't watched it yet. But yeah, not his strongest.
Oh, damn. Well, by the time this
Yeah.
comes out, I will have watched it, but maybe I'll do a preamble where I give my thoughts.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
here's his first question. Are you guys ready?
we're
The
ready.
first question. What was your level of fear with Ellie sleeping nearby? That was his first question.
It was.
There's not a lot. There's only like two, by the way.
It was. Do you know what? There wasn't fear. It was more awkwardness.
Okay.
There was, looking back, I probably should have had fear. I was naive to think that I was safe in that space. No, I'm joking. But no, do you know what? She's a nice woman. And it was always just a little bit awkward between us. We just didn't necessarily gel. But yes, looking back, maybe I should have had fear. That was
Okay.
puberty.
What's the average check amount when the staff goes out? Because yeah, he really
Ooh,
Great
wants to know this
question.
because we were like back in our younger, when we were in like our 20s, him and I met in the hospitality industry. He was a bartender. I worked in as whatever. And we would go out with our staff after, and sometimes we would spend like stupid amounts, like just, partying after. So he was like, I wonder what they spend when they go out. So do you
Okay, I
remember?
love this question. You're going to have to give props to Steve because I answer the same questions for the last 6 years, the same questions. So I love this. I've never been asked this.
Yes.
It can be really expensive. So the first 2 years, because when I turned up and I started filming and they're like, oh, you pay for your own dinner and your drinks. I was like, sorry, excuse me. I was
Oh my
like,
God, really?
yeah, you pay for your own dinner and
So
your own
cheap.
drinks. And we actually they either used to pay for our first drink or our first two. I can't remember. But now that there's so many cast members who come out being like, we're forced to drink and we're forced to do this, they will not provide any alcohol whatsoever.
Okay.
So I was pissed about that. But yes, we pay for our own dinner, our whole nights out, which I was not impressed by. I was like, I thought I was here to earn money, not spend it.
Right.
And the first 2 years in Menorca and Croatia was relatively cheap. They're cheaper islands. And then when we went to Ibiza, our
Oh
bills
God.
were so big. Like, and then now we'll do like, because there's 9 of us and there's 9 nights out. So we'll do like pay a bill each. And usually I've picked up maybe like 2 bills because I get paid the most. So I'm like, I'll pick this up or whatever. But I've paid up to like, I think like up to like 800 or 900 for dinner. So that's not even including.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah, and
Mark,
that's,
everyone, I know we're not
yeah.
on video, but audience, Mark is shook by this.
Yeah.
As am
And
I.
that's not including our drinks
Wow.
for the rest of the night. That's been like at dinner. So I've picked up 2 or 3 of those
Holy.
checks. And like some people get lucky when they come in and they get fired or they quit and they've not had their night to pick up the check. And I'm like, those bastards. Or they come in late. But yeah, I usually pick about 2 or 3. So it depends what country we're in. Like when we were in
Right.
Canawan, we actually went to a lot of like beach shacky kind of places for pizza. So they were cheaper. Ibiza was super expensive.
Yeah.
Croatia
Because it's
was
really
okay.
touristy too, right?
Yeah, Ibiza's just
Yeah.
like, it's one of the most expensive islands in the world. And no matter where you go, and sometimes we go to really nice restaurants, they organize us. And in Canawan, they just happen to be more like beach shacky. Croatia was okay. Menorca was okay. I'm trying to think where else I've been. Sardinia was expensive. That was another really expensive place.
Wow.
So yeah, it can vary, but sometimes depending where they go, like if you can get lucky on the night out and you're like, I'm picking up the check and it's like, 400
Well, that's what I was going to ask. What if you
euro.
have a cheap night? Like, do you guys want to like even it out later, or it's just like you got
No,
lucky?
it's just
Yeah,
luck of the
you got
draw.
lucky.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Now, so Mark, you were on a charter. Is that how you and Daisy met and became friends?
Yeah, it was actually in Ibiza, the
Oh,
expensive one. Thank you. Yeah, we met on the boat in Ibiza, and just clicked immediately.
and which season was that?
That was Below Deck Sailing season 5. The one I like to say that we got Below Deck Sailing canceled because they got in so much trouble going out with us.
That was the drag episode when we got in trouble for drinking and almost got our tip taken off of us. I
Oh,
almost
yes.
skipped.
Okay.
It was all
Oh,
very
well.
dramatic.
Well, that's all right. You
Yeah.
know, it all worked out better because now Daisy's on Below Deck and got to serve the Salt Lake City housewives. Does anyone else still get that back to school shopping feeling when summer starts winding down? Something about this time of year always makes me want to refresh my closet and get back into a good routine. The only challenge is figuring out what to wear when it's 85 degrees outside but freezing inside. So I've been reaching for lightweight layering pieces lately. That's one of the reasons I love shopping at Fabletics. They have so many pieces that are perfect for this in between season. And if you're new to Fabletics, becoming a VIP unlocks major savings on your first purchase, which makes refreshing your wardrobe a whole lot more affordable. When I signed up as a new VIP with Fabletics, I got 70 to 80% off everything. One of the first things I bought was a pair of high-rise denim pants. Yes, denim. I didn't really think of Fabletics as a denim company, but oh my God, it's so soft, comfortable, and flattering. It's also great for us curvy gals. The quality honestly surprised me. Fabletics pieces feel like premium, but without the price tag. Soft, breathable, actually built to last. I'll be living in these jeans all summer and going into fall. I can dress them up for work and down for after or on weekends when I'm running errands. Shop now at fabletics.com/Bravo Papers to get 70 to 80% off everything when you sign up as a new VIP. Take a quick style quiz and be sure to select Bravo Papers when prompted to unlock this offer. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Again, that's fabletics.com/Bravo Papers for 70 to 80% off everything as a new VIP. Recently in my home, I had this really awkward space that I needed a small console table for. In my hallway, right where the stairs are, there's this corner with just nothing. I thought about doing a planter or something, but my husband wanted something where he could just like throw his keys and sunglasses when we came in from the door. But it's such a weird space that needs the exact measurements for a corner console, but thank God for Wayfair. I could put in the minimum or maximum height, width, depth, search corner console, and I got so many options and I found one that works perfectly. The other thing I love about Wayfair is the quality. You can shop with Wayfair Verified, your shortcut to durable pieces hand vetted by product specialists using a 10-point quality inspection, testing things like quality of materials, functionality and features, and even how long it takes to build. You can get quality, but you don't need to overspend. And you can read more than 20 million verified 5-star reviews from real shoppers. Join Wayfair Rewards today to get 5% back on every purchase and start saving on your next home upgrade. Head to wayfair.com to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Which
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
sure you've answered a lot of questions about that, but have you guys heard that Summer House and Below Deck Med are doing a crossover? Have you guys heard? And what are your thoughts about that? They just announced it recently.
My thoughts are, I have a couple of thoughts. It's
Okay.
going to be great.
Buckle up.
Yeah,
It's going to
buckle
be
up.
great. Super excited. But we paved the way. We did
You absolutely
set them
did.
up for success. I'm also, Lindsay was my first friend, so I'm just paving the way from everyone else. I'm going out for Lindsay's birthday tonight.
Oh my God, I love Lindsay.
I love her as well.
She's
She's
like one
so
of my
great.
favorite Bravo stars.
She's my only Bravo friend. So
And I'm an OG Lindsay fan. When everybody else was hating on her from the start, I always did. She knows she's DM'd me before.
I like her a lot as well.
Yeah, I
I
think
like her.
she was misunderstood.
Well, I just think she's messy. I think I see a lot of myself in
Yeah.
her. Like I think I think it's really easy to like people who never make mistakes. And I think
Exactly.
that's a really easy kind of avenue to go. And it's much harder to like people who are, unfiltered, messy, make mistakes in such a public way.
Hmm.
And I think me and Lindsay are very similar in that way. And I've known Lindsay she was the first person I met at my first BravoCon in New York.
Aw.
And she was nothing but kind to me. And like the conversations I have with Lindsay are very real. Like she doesn't BS. She doesn't. I know she's not talking shit. We'll talk about work. We'll talk about, and I'm like, I walk away being like, I believe that. Whereas I don't feel that way with a lot of people. So
Yeah, I see what you're
I'm
saying. Ooh,
fine.
you can name names.
Um,
I am.
no, well, look, I work at Bravo, okay? So you can imagine there's a lot of BS going around there. But no, for this summer heist, I am really excited. I think it's going to be great. And Met are having a great season. Summer heist obviously had an amazing season. So it's a great crossover. But I just want to say you saw it here first.
Yeah,
So
you paved the way. What do you think,
I
Mark?
did pave the way.
Fair. I'm new to Summer House. I understand the players now, and I enjoy them. I like them a lot, and I think Met is having a great season this season. So it looks like they're geared up to have another great season. I thank Daisy and her crew for paving the way and opening the
Yep.
doors, letting others walk through. So thank you to the pioneers, and I'm super excited. Like, why not?
And do you think that you kind of got like the harder cast in terms of a sorry,
Yes.
no offense to Salt Lake City. I love Salt Lake City. Do you think they're kind of getting like the younger, like more maybe less high maintenance cast? Like I feel like Salt Lake City, they would be need a little bit more, they're well established ladies with high expectations. Do you think the Summer House cast will be a little easier for the crew to deal with? Or maybe harder
I
in
didn't
another way? I don't
I don't
know.
know. I mean it's gonna be the Salt Lake City girls, they, are professionals
Yeah.
in their field on TV. So they brought it. And they definitely had high expectations. They were excited, and there was obviously a lot of drama going on. I don't know. I think you know what? We get slammed with drinks. That is what interior, it's the hardest thing. It's just drink order after drink order after drink order. And I think the summer heists are going to be all about the cocktails.
That's true.
I think they're going to be similar to Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City didn't eat and just drank, and that's why they were just hammered. I think summer heist is going to possibly follow
Yeah.
that a little bit. We know like Kyle likes to stay up late and party, and they're the things that keep us. It's not necessarily expecting such high standards. It's just expecting like 24 kind of service, waking up keeping up till 4 a.m. and then
Right.
getting up in the morning again because you just have these few days on the yacht. And summer heists know how to party.
I
So,
know. Kyle's gonna want like a muffin at 3 in the morning. Like he's gonna, yeah.
and they're also kings and queens of themes. So they're gonna have the
Mm,
pressure on about the themes. So I think they're gonna be, I also think, like, to be fair, like I am, super stoked for Med and Summer House, and it would have been so fun to have them on our show, but it would have been a little awkward because I am friends with Lindsay,
yeah,
and
no,
I've
this makes
met,
more sense.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Luke a million times. I've met Carl a million times, who are all so. Sorry, Kyle. Sorry, my brain fog.
There was a Luke on Summer House. She's going way back. Yeah.
Keep going
I
like
do know.
that.
He was
Yes, I've
really
met
hot.
Luke. Yes, and I probably know out of all of the Bravo people, I probably know the Summer House cast the best.
Okay.
So I actually think it would have been a little awkward if I was serving them. So I'm slightly relieved that I got the Salt Lake City gals. But I know I think they're going to be difficult in their own way. I think it's going to be a fun crossover for sure.
I'm happy that they did Summer House and not another Housewife franchise because, like
Hmm.
you said, it's a completely different set of obstacles that the crew on the boat is going to have to. They're going to want all the water toys. They're going to want all these things that the wives did not. So we're going to see
Oh
a
yeah.
needy and a completely different element. But to touch on Summer House and how Daisy knows these people, she may get mad at me for saying this, but I would like to petition Daisy Kelleher on the show In the City. I would like Daisy to move to New York permanently and be on In the City because people have not seen Daisy.
I would love
like
that.
Not working.
yeah, she's always working and under circumstances and like confinements of a job. Like she would kill that show. So this is my plea. Whoever's listening, put Daisy Kelleher in the city.
I'm turning 40 in May, and it's time to be grown up. And they're all
Welcome.
want me to move to New York, so I'm here for it.
You should.
But actually, touching back onto the summer house, I like there might be a hookup.
Between the crew and the crew.
Oh,
Ciara-
there could be.
Ciara and
Yes, there
Joe.
absolutely
Yeah.
could be. Because
Hannah slept
you have
with- or was
Bailey, who
Bailey.
is single. You have
You've got Ciara.
Sierra. Mia is single too.
Mia is single.
Who are the
you know,
guys? Why am I
What?
forgetting all the guys?
Why
Carl.
not?
Carl is single.
When I was on the boat as a guest, I tried to hook up with Captain Glenn. He's like, we can't do that.
I don't know. Like, we don't know. Obviously, we don't know who's coming back from this season. And they're kind of crossing over different below decks. But because it would, like I said, going back, I'm slightly relieved that I didn't have to serve my peers because that's always awkward. But they're all going to be in and around the same age,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are single.
Think of that. I didn't
Yeah.
know you guys could hook up. I thought that was you can't do that.
Well, you can't if Sandy doesn't find out.
Yeah, you can,
Or
but you're
come in and
risking
cheat.
getting in trouble,
Yeah.
right? Like you're
Yeah,
risking getting
like-
fired. Yeah.
If Sandy finds out, but you can't fire somebody like production. Production doesn't tell us stuff. Like you have to find it out on your
Yeah.
own.
So once the
they're
show's
not going to run
done-
off to Sandy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And once the show is done and Sandy's watched it, she can't use that as leverage to fire. Like we keep it very authentic. So you can't, like Jason can't come back and be like, oh, Daisy was an awful person last season, I fire her. He can only go by what he knows. And like you can't use what you watch as leverage. So, look, they could be texting, they could be sneaking into DMs. I don't know. It's
Yeah, it could be happening.
like Kyle saying, I know he's like sleeping with that girl from
Sally.
Wasn't he sleeping, Sally?
Yes, he is. Yeah, from
From
Southern Charm.
But they're not together. So it's like Carl's single. I
No,
don't
they're
know.
not. Yeah, they're all. And I was
Yeah.
thinking about that with what's his name, Cooper. Isn't he from Charleston?
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if they're going to sneak him into Southern Hospitality, which is like the younger Charleston show, or maybe Southern Charm at some point. But again, you guys said he had a really bad episode. But I was going to say people seem to like him, but I guess that might
It's
change.
okay to have a bad episode. I've had
Yeah.
plenty and I'm still around. So
Yeah,
True.
I mean everybody.
you
Yeah,
gotta have, nobody is perfect, and you gotta
Yes.
have, this is like I said, like going back, to the Lindsay thing, or I've been, doing this for 6 years, and people love to hate on people who make mistakes, and they love to, pick up people who are perfect, and I'm always like, nobody's perfect. So
yeah.
I think it's important to remember that. And yeah, Cooper didn't have a great episode last night, but we really enjoyed him. He's like 23 or something. Like,
I know,
give the boy
exactly.
a break.
Exactly. The amount of dumb things I did when I was 23.
Exactly. So
Sorry,
It's
Mark,
quite
what
a
were you
love
going to say?
connection. No, it's quite a love connection between Daisy and Cooper. If you watch our most recent episode, we're in bed with him. That's all I will say. I definitely think Daisy left the episode with a crush.
look, I'm single,
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong
I'm
with it. Go
messy.
for a younger
Yeah.
guy. Why not?
and younger. I haven't done younger, and I like messy, young and messy.
Does anyone else feel like August is the Sunday of summer? It's the perfect time to hit reset before the autumn rush. And for me, that always starts with my wardrobe. Quince proves you don't need a crowded closet to look incredible. You just need the right pieces. Quince specializes in effortless, high-quality essentials like ultra-soft organic cotton and premium Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They're beautifully tailored, built to last, and transition seamlessly from morning meetings to dinner. Quince also has premium stretch denim starting at just $50 with the kind of perfect fit, structure, and weight you'd expect from a luxury designer brand. I continually wear my Quince Bella Stretch wide leg jeans. I'm obsessed. They're probably my most reached for item in my closet. They're so comfortable and the most high quality denim I've ever owned without the price. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middlemen, so you're paying for quality, not brand markup. Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/Bravo Papers. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/Bravo Papers. As many of you know, my daughter is a beyond picky eater, and I often worry she's not getting the vitamins and nutrients that she needs. But recently I got the opportunity to try Haya Kids vitamins. Well, not me. She got the opportunity. And finally, I have found something that she actually likes with the nutrients she needs, and it's such a weight off my back. My daughter loves the taste of them, and the best part is they have 0 sugar. Most kids' multivitamins have like 7 grams of sugar or more, and these having 0 is amazing, and she still loves the taste and is actually excited for them every day. The other thing I love about them is that they're actually made around what modern kids are actually eating these days or not eating, and formulated around those specific nutritional gaps. The ingredient list is also clean, non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free. They've really thought of everything. We've worked out a special deal with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/Bravo Papers. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to hayahealth.com/Bravo Papers and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. My hair grows incredibly slow, and after I had my daughter, I experienced a lot of hair falling out, thinning, and just even slower growth. So a lot of people told me that I should take certain vitamins, I should cut it more, stop using my straightener, all this stuff. But spoiler alert, none of those things worked. And that's why I'm loving Basque and Lather products. They don't subscribe to this like one size fits all method. Basque and Lather knows that each person is an individual and is unique, and so is their hair. I went on their website when I ordered my first products, and they have a hair quiz. It was really helpful in seeing exactly what my hair needs are and which products would actually help me. So I ended up getting the Basque and Lather Scalp Stimulator, and I love it. I've been using it for about a month, and I'm already seeing more hair growth and fullness in the sparse spots. Another thing I love about Basque and Lather, besides the amazing products, is that they're Black-owned and family-operated. When a dermatologist misdiagnosed CEO Shayna's younger sister and said her hair may never grow back, the family took things into their own hands. Today, her hair is down to her hips. Shayna and her mother researched and formulated their own scalp and hair oil to stimulate growth and retain length. I mean, we love that. We love women-owned businesses. We love Black-owned businesses. We just love it. So explore viral bestsellers and products of healthier hair of all types from Basque and Lather. Go to basqueandlatherco.com and use Bravo Papers for 20% off. That's 20% off at basqueandlatherco.com, code Bravo Papers. Young and messy.
As we know, on Med, watching this season alone, the juice is loose. So
okay, that was actually my next question. What are your thoughts on, Jizzgate or whatever we're going to call it? I don't even know. Do you think that Jen should have been punished also in some way? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think that Jen, it's Luke's fault. It's the man's fault. He's the one that invited her into his room. It's obviously his fault. He's the one that should have cleaned the sheets. I do think that Jen consciously also did not clean the sheets because she wanted people to know about it. She was claiming her territory.
Oh, I agree.
Making sure that Joy did not have a chance. And so, although it is Luke's fault, I think that Jen wanted it to happen this way.
Yeah, because a lot of people online are like, well, she's interior. She should have and she was part of it. What do you think, Daisy?
I mean, it's interesting because we have actually talked a lot about this, and
Sorry
that's
to
why
make you repeat.
No, not at all.
Okay.
That's what makes it such a great storyline, is
Yeah.
because it sparks conversation. So I've like talked about it with my roommate, all these kind of things about who's in the fault, who should get in trouble. I feel quite strongly that Jen should not have been part of it, and this kind of narrative of like, you know, she's interior, like to me that just screams this like um you know, kind of sexist kind of role there, that like, oh, she cleans sheets for a living, like it should be her job.
Yeah.
I took it back to on our podcast, not to be too TMI, but like, you know, imagine she had her period and you're like, you know, she would have cleaned it. There's no doubt about that. There's no way you would have said to the guy, oh, well, you were part of this.
Yeah, it's his body fluid.
Yeah, it's his body fluid. It was also in his cabin. And I, you know, partly agree that Marc that like probably I think Jen is great TV, and I think probably she knew it was gonna get. I would have probably cleaned the sheets because I would have been just a bit embarrassed, and I would have been like,
yeah,
you know, like it wasn't our. I wouldn't have wanted that information to get out. Do I think it was my role to clean the sheets? No. Do I think I should have been responsible or gotten in trouble? No. I would have done them probably just out of embarrassment. But yeah, this kind of narrative, I find it really weird. His bed, his body part, he should clean it. No, or not even his bed, sorry, his cabin.
But can we get like how gross can we get? You brought it up, so this is on you.
Oh, you can get as gross as you want.
So we've all experienced, for the most part, you know, hopefully your listeners of a certain age, we've all experienced semen. We've all been around it. We've all seen it. We've been in the room of sorts. If it does get on your sheets, it's not like it's water. It doesn't just magically like evaporate and not leave a mark. There's some crunchy munchy to it.
Well,
And
that was
so
my thought
if
too,
it's
actually.
on his sheets, you should know that the feeling of it is like, you know, like you drop sauce.
No,
on the
I
sheets.
don't.
You would have known that it was there. So I'm thinking not a lot of it got on the sheets. And
Yeah, maybe it was
No, I don't
small
think
amount.
so. I think you're so tired in that like vicinity.
Sorry, this
in
debate
that
is just
realm.
making me laugh.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
You didn't know if you got into a bed with cum?
I don't think so.
I
Do
could
you
see
think
how
got
you
into
could
a bed
not.
last night with cum?
Ew.
You slept in the bed.
No, I don't, because you're also wearing like, you're like, he probably had boxers on. Like some guys like sleep with pajamas. I do not think when you have done a 20-hour day or an 18-hour shift and you get in and you're like, oh my God, is there cum in my bed?
I would know.
No, you
I would know.
wouldn't. No, I don't agree with that at
I'm like
all.
a basset hound. I would be
Okay, we're gonna
children.
I'm
We're
with
gonna-
Daisy. I got to be honest. I might not know, but that being said, it depends. Like maybe how much, and if it's dry, I could see not knowing.
I agree.
I could
and
see
you
it.
also,
I could see it.
I could also see how it could happen that you find out and then you're like, oh, I wondered.
Like the thought of
Like,
it.
no, yeah, like
It's gross.
no, I don't think you. No, I no.
Okay, it's okay. We can agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, last below deck question. Okay. Are you guys okay for like till 12? Is that okay? Like 1 hour?
Yeah, no.
Okay, I don't want to
on.
keep you for, I understand. I always try to think of like people have days and they have stuff to do. Thoughts? This was another one of my husband's questions. What are your thoughts on Nathan having his wife and baby nearby? Because him and we've had some, he's annoying me, like as someone, like my daughter's 9 now, but when she was a baby, it was really difficult to be alone for those long stretches. And I remember crying nonstop and like just hating my life at that time. It was so hard. So I was just like, this woman has like come all the way to Croatia or wherever. Like she doesn't have any family. Why did you go out for dinner? Then you don't get home till late. And then, you're late. Like, I just think whereas my husband's like, well, he seems like he really cares. I'm like, well, I think the actions matter more. Like, what do you think about that?
Thank you.
So
Thank you. I'm Team Gail. Daisy does not support women. I'm kidding.
You can tell I've never had a child.
You sound like
this is also
Ramona.
very, another interesting conversation. And, Yes, Marc is very much Team Gail. I am not supporting women. Of
Mhm.
course I do.
Oh my
But
God, we know Daisy. Don't worry, we know.
big woman.
Daisy is
Okay.
the support of women.
But I wouldn't necessarily go as far as your husband to be like, oh, he looks like he cares. But I would say that I'm a very I'm very realistic, and people would describe that, production would describe that about me. I'm not a overly fluffy person. I'm not overly negative. So the way I look at things are very realistic. Gail has done the show.
Yeah.
She very much knew what that entailed.
Well, that is
Nathan
true.
has also done the show. They also have this narrative of how difficult it is to have a baby has been around for a very long time. These people chose to have the baby. They chose to go on the show as a pair. There were a million different decisions that could have been made for Nathan not to take the job, for Gail not to go out to stay with her family, for Gail to bring a friend out, or for them to follow through with the decision, knowing how difficult this period was going to be, but decided it was best as a family for them to be together, for him to be on the show. You don't get your cake and get to eat it. I have been on the show, and honestly, as a cast member, I am even frustrated that he gets to go home after the night's out.
Oh,
That
wow.
it is part of the show. You
I'm
don't
just
get to
laughing at
sign
Mark's face.
up
Sorry.
and do. I know he is being an a-hole. And I know people are going to come for me, and I know it looks very unsupportive
No.
of me.
I think it's a different angle that a lot of people wouldn't consider because they haven't worked behind the scenes as you have.
Yeah, and I get very frustrated. We have people on the show who often don't want to go on nights out for different reasons, and they're having trouble at home with their partners. I can be a little cutthroat, and I know that looks very unsupportive, but we all have stuff going on at home.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's like to be a new mom. I can't imagine what that feels like, but you don't get to sign up to the show and be half present no matter what is going on. Had people who've had like family stuff, breakups, and I throw my toys out of the prom. I'm like, it is not fair that I have to go out sometimes till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
and get up and start work the next day. I've had friends' parents who've died when I've been working and like gone to the bathroom, cried, and come back out and been like, right, I have to go back to work. So I know it's a little bit of a controversial opinion, and Mark thinks
Well,
I'm
I
a
mean,
terrible
to
person.
support Daisy a bit, like in this opinion, because I do see what you're saying. Going out is part of the below deck job. So that is something I said as well to my husband. Like, I've watched these shows long enough to know, like, going out as a crew, that is kind of part of the job of filming the show. So it wouldn't
Yeah,
be
these
fair.
people went in with their eyes wide open, and I think there's
Yeah,
a little bit
it
of
wouldn't be.
wanting their cake and to eat it.
Yeah.
I saw someone on Instagram yesterday being like, Bravo should pay for a nighttime for a full-time nanny to help
Oh, they're not
Gail.
doing that.
They can afford it. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So I can have a baby on my own, and then Bravo will pay for my nanny because I have to go to work. Like, no. In hindsight, I think, she's obviously not coping. And I think there were probably better decisions. And I know that's easy with hindsight. Maybe she
Of
should have
course.
stayed at home or brought a friend out or a family member. Life doesn't always work out like that. They made the
Right.
decision. But that's, we're a new mom at one point. I think somebody has to work, and I think they made a decision, and I don't think that's on Nathan. I don't think he made the wrong decision. I don't think Gail did. I think they're just doing what they can with the decision they made.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Go ahead, Mark. Go.
Okay, so
We
like
love
I
a
get
debate.
it. I get that you want him to go out and like hooting and hollering, but it is a TV show, and I'm glad we get to see like because he's going home to his wife or his girl and his baby. That's also entertaining for the viewers. That's an element we have
Well,
not seen yet. So I would
that
rather
is
him
true.
go be with Gail and watch that than just him to be another person who's drunk, hooting and hollering. Like it's
No, I think that's
interesting to see a different side.
I
Well, that's
think
probably why
that's a
they allowed it.
very Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think that's a fair point, and I do think that's valid. And I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying he should have stayed out. I'm saying as a cast member, that's a little bit of a frustrating part that everyone is like, he should be allowed, he shouldn't have to go for the dinner. He should, she should have a nanny paid for. Like, this is crazy. This is, I know people online have weird opinions, but I
they do.
agree. He obviously is going home to be with her. And I think they're just doing what they can, but I don't think you can have your cake and eat it. And as a crew member, by the way, that is part of the job. I have worked with many captains who, and predominantly men, but a lot of relationships who have failed, struggled, a lot of men who've been away from their children for months at a time because we all have to work. We all have to eat. Like, this couch doesn't buy itself. So
My friend gave it to me.
yeah.
So it did.
But
Okay.
I think somebody coming from the industry, and I've seen a lot of relationships break down because someone is at home with their children and the man has to be part of the crew and go out for dinner, and that is part of the job. So it's finding that balance. And I agree, it's interesting to watch. I'm not taking away from that.
Well, I
And
mean,
I'm
I think
happy
the
that,
debate is kind of part of why it's interesting is like, is Nathan handling
sure.
it inside the context of his situation? Sorry, Mark, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you going to say?
No, I mean, I'm happy that he is taking interest in this child and like
Yeah.
wanting to raise it because like doesn't he have another one that he doesn't even pay attention to or
Oh,
what? It's online. Like it's what are you talking about? People talking about it online.
No.
Absolutely. Check Twitter.
okay. I haven't heard of this.
Okay, it didn't happen. I just made that up. I don't know. I'm not more
Listen-
coach. I'm not doing paternity tests.
Maybe you should. That would make a good
I
shout.
don't know these people. I've never met them in my life. I've just heard internet.
Daisy-
I've logged on. There's lots of chatter.
Listeners, Daisy is shook by Mark saying that. She is like, how are you
This
going
is
to
not a
just
Jen
say
Fessler
that?
moment. I don't know any of this. This is just what I've heard rumblings on the internet.
Okay,
This is
you're
absolutely
right.
Not verified.
I think if I looked that up, I would probably find something since you said that. Like if I go on Reddit,
Look, okay.
I'm going to find some
Look,
tea, right? But that doesn't mean it's true.
I mean,
we all know it's
look-
Does not mean
unverified.
it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's fine for Gail and the baby because
Yes.
luckily it was perfect timing and he hurt his back. So, it all worked out. I hope his back is okay. But luckily for Gail and the baby, he hurt his back so he can go home. I mean, it just happens to be very...
I thought he was always going to leave this season. It never felt like a right time and place for him. I thought he was always going to go home and be with that baby. And so I don't even believe that he hurt his back. I'm sorry. I'm just giving all different points of view.
Yeah, actually, I'm with you on the back
may be
thing.
true, but I don't believe he hurt his back. I think that
Yeah.
was just an out.
I think the back thing was, I think he just couldn't handle, I think exactly what Daisy said. Like here's the thing, people can tell you till they're blue in the face how hard it is to have a new baby. Until you do it, you don't know. You just don't. And that's not an insult to anyone who doesn't have a baby, right? It's just one of those things. You just have to, it's just like being a stew on below deck. Like until you've done it, you don't know, right? So I do think that
I'm also going to be...
they're going to be surprised.
Really, I'm going to be a bad person again. That baby was 8 weeks when they went and filmed the show. They had 8 weeks to pull out of the show.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying is that they still went ahead and did it. And then it was harder than they expected. And then they were like, okay, let's bail out, which is why I agree with you about the back thing. I don't think I believe it either.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Daisy kind of convinced me. I'm not going to lie. I think I've kind of shifted sides.
I was
Yeah,
always
because-
told I'd make a good politician
well,
or a great lawyer.
I'm thinking back to when I had my daughter and my husband was a bartender and he was like, by the time they closed up and everything, like he would get home at like 4 a.m. and I would be alone. It was like a long stretch and it was really hard, but he had to go back to work.
Yeah. And I will never, not say it doesn't look incredibly hard and my heart doesn't go out, it goes out to Gail and what she's going through. But saying that, you make decisions that you both decide that are right for your family. So I find just the conversation very weird, being like, I cannot believe, Bravo would do this to her, Nathan would do this. I'm like, these were grown adults who decided to have a baby and then decided to pursue the show. And it's a classic case of wanting their cake and to eat it. Oh, I want to do the show and I want the platform, but I'm not really enjoying how difficult this is. You need to come back. But interesting TV and hopefully, they make it okay. But that's part of life. We go
Yeah.
to work and we
I mean,
make
I
these
think that's like,
decisions.
yeah, that's part of reality is like you do, people do go back to work and one person, usually the woman, is
Yeah.
stuck at home.
And
And it is really
and that's
fucking
what
hard. That's
the
just that.
hard
That's why it's
yeah, and
reality
that's what the
TV, right?
hard part of having a child
Yeah.
is if we could all if the two of you could stay at home for 6 months,
Yeah.
that the reality is probably would be a lot easier, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
usually the woman, and that all comes into play. So no, definitely interesting TV, but
Yeah. I
Nice
mean, I
support.
still think
Nice
Nathan
support, Daisy.
sucks for other reasons. I just don't really like him. I'm sorry. Like, I feel
He's
bad
not
because
a
you
good
might know
bosun.
him,
He's
Daisy, but I'm
running
just,
into
I
things.
don't know him. I don't
He
know.
just doesn't seem like a
okay.
good bosun. He's always
Yeah.
making mistakes. The jet ski in the light, the dock.
Yeah.
Like
I just think he's really angry.
And he's also
he's very
doing this thing
temperamental.
that's like, I have a baby now, so I'm a good guy. Like, you're the same as before. Like, shut up.
Yeah,
I'm not
I would
buying the
tend to
rebrand.
agree. Yeah, I tend to agree with the whole, but I don't like that. And again, it's easy for me to say because I don't have a child, but that whole narrative of like it's this real like easy kind of escape to be like, I have
Yeah.
a baby, so I'm a good guy now. It's like, well, what about the fucking rest of us? Well, we're a bad person because we haven't had a baby yet, or slipped it in without contraception. I mean, like that doesn't make us bad people over here.
Well, it's kind of
Um,
like that, like the bar is in hell for men. It's like all you have to do is be a dad who's like semi interested in your child, and suddenly you're like
yeah,
the hero. So it's kind of like
it's a
I'm not
Disneyland
giving
dad.
him that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Disneyland dad, like who gets to pop in and pop out. But I mean, and also I think we forget about how young Gail and Nathan are. Like
Yeah, they
Is
are.
they're
Nathan Young?
oh my God, I didn't. He was 27 when he filmed this. I thought he was older because
Oh
he looked
wow.
older. Yeah.
Oh
So I
man.
think to be honest, I think they're really showing
Yeah.
He's
their
got the bad
age.
back.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't
I
believe
think
that.
they're showing their age personally, and the consequences of having a child so young in a very unstable relationship. I think it's being shown.
Okay, I think we have time for one more topic, and it's going to transition perfectly. Because speaking of terrible men, I need to ask you a Jax Taylor question. Are you ready to pivot here?
We're ready.
Okay, I know on your last episode, I believe on your most recent one, you talked about the smart water controversy. I did not even mention it on my last news episode because I was saving it for you guys. Um, so tell me your unfiltered thoughts. Swearing and name calling is allowed if you want to direct it at Jax being a loser. What do you think? What did you think of that whole debacle? Just to give, and it'll give viewers kind of a taste of you guys discussing Bravo on your show.
Well, now I'm scared to say anything because I've said too much of what
No,
I've read on
that's,
the internet.
oh my God, don't be scared.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
I have a great, my audience is really like thoughtful. They come here, they like context, nuanced discussion. I don't do like hot
Yeah.
takes or like my opinion is based on the internet. I don't care about that. So you just say your real opinion.
I think he's crazy. I mean, how dumb do you have to be? This is the same guy who has like a fake name that they brought out on the reunion, like,
Mm-hmm.
and he got the Naked Gun name wrong. Like this man is got two brain cells battling each other. Yeah, I would say he needs some smart water for
See,
several reasons.
I'm gonna counter argue this. I think
Oh,
the man is a bloody genius. Sorry, how is this man
like an evil
still
genius?
being an evil genius? How is he still being talked about? Not only does he have, that smart water kind of campaign and drama come out, but at the exact same time, he's caught having a relationship with Britney's publicist,
I
which is
know.
just horrendous. Like that in itself, like it's very hard to trust people in this industry. And I'm not nearly as big as some of these people, and your circle just gets smaller and smaller.
Yep.
So I think that is really awful, what Britney's had to go through. But I think this man, how he's managed to have these two kind of storylines, albeit absolutely terrible, we are still talking about Jack Taylor.
Yep.
Like, and he still seems to be landing on his feet. He still
Hmm.
gets the fucking woman who, I don't know how her career is going to go, but
Yeah.
whatever. 10 years later, or I mean more, this man gets fired. He, is an awful person, just does shitty things. And yet here we are still talking about him.
Well, that was going to be
So
my next question was like, are you guys watching The Valley?
Good
I
point.
don't.
No. First season, I didn't watch it. And it happens to be the first season without Jax. And I do not like Jax, but there's something missing in the formula. Love Kristen, will do anything for Kristen,
Love
but I
Kristen.
can't watch the show. It's a little too dark and not
It
fun to
is dark.
watch without someone really stupid like Jax to like be like, what are
Lighten
you
it up.
doing?
But do you
You need
think
someone
like they should
incredibly stupid.
but do you think they should stop? Like he is getting attention and a lot of it is cuz they keep talking about him. Like even at the reunion, he gets brought up like multiple times. Like do you think that the best way to kind of cut the head off the snake is to just like stop talking about him? Like for them on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch The Valley, so I don't. I think it's going to be hard to stop conversing about him
Mm,
as long as him and Brittany they're going to be entangled with this custody battle and having a baby for
right.
essentially probably for the rest of their lives. So I think that is essentially. But yes, in the edit, Bravo can obviously cut those out, even if he comes up in conversation. I think it's just an interesting view on pop culture. It's like Tom Sandoval. Everyone thought after Scandoval he'd kind of disappear, but he's still around. Like
Hmm.
isn't he in The Traders?
Yep.
I don't know if he did House of Villains. I think we're gonna see that with Scamanda as well. Like maybe um, they didn't come back
The Summer
to
House.
Summer
Hmm.
House, but I certainly don't think now, not that I think any of these people's careers should essentially be over, they're
Right.
just giving what the people want, the drama. But I think it is interesting that you kind of go like look at Stassi, she gets fired from
Yeah.
VPR and now she comes out with her own show on Hulu. It is fascinating to watch because I'm petrified I'm constantly going to get cancelled. I won't because I'm a good person, but I'm always like, and then I'm like, I just need a good scandal, and my career is just going to go, sky high.
Yeah, I mean
So
it's
I find
ruthless
it
out there. Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah, from a
honestly,
pop
and
culture perspective.
a lot of people say that like cancel culture doesn't really exist and you don't really know. And yeah, I agree. Even just like me, I'm very small time, not famous at all, just do a podcast. And sometimes I get worried. I'm like, this is my opinion, but like, people get mad sometimes and they
For
they really,
sure.
really are like, I'm so disappointed in your take on this. And I'm like, but I can't just do the take that's like always the popular take because then
Well,
no one will
that's
listen.
like
That's the
yeah, well,
ironic
that's
part.
like the well, and that's the thing. It's the pop culture. It's people. Even today, poor Cooper getting so much hate in our podcast, and it was bad timing. But we're not gonna back everyone and be like the guy's an awful guy. Like he
No, and you
just
shouldn't.
no, it's I was like, whatever. I was like, let people have their opinion. And, same with people mightn't like my take on Gail and Nathan because, whatever. And I'm like, I'm an opinionated person. That's what makes me great reality TV. I'm not going to be backed into a corner. And I think with the Jax thing, people are going to talk about it because it's fascinating. It is
It
the
is.
funny. I don't know much about Jax. I don't know the
He's
Valley. I
a
never
he's a
watched
sociopath.
VPR. And I think him doing that smart water campaign, I was like, tell
Do a
me
smart water
more.
campaign.
Well, the fact that he does this
Well,
in
the fake one.
AI. Yeah. And then all weekend I was away with my manager and we were talking about the publicist thing and I didn't know much about it. And I was like, tell me more. I think as long as people are doing out of the thing boxes, that's who we're going to talk about. So, should we just cut the snake off the head? I don't know, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think we're gonna be talking about him for a long time because he's
I
gonna
think you're
keep doing
right.
wild shit.
He's a disaster. And as long as Britney's on the Valley, it's that kind of thing. And what shows before we wrap up, what are you most excited about going into the fall? Like whenever the Salt Lake City trailer came out and whenever that happens, it's like winter is coming. So even though I do not want winter, okay, I'm in Canada, please no. But it's like it's coming and I'm always excited for Salt Lake City. What are you looking forward? What reality shows are you going to be like talking about? What's your favorites?
Definitely Salt Lake City. I love
Yeah.
Salt Lake City. And I'm actually trying to pin Daisy because of the crossover, pin Daisy against a Salt Lake City wife. I do a show called Hot Tub Games in Fire Island, and it's going to be Daisy versus one of the Salt Lake City girls.
Oh my God,
at the end
so
of
fun.
summer, September 6th. So I'm going to try to pin them against each other right as Salt Lake is about to premiere.
And you'll
So
be
yeah,
like
Salt Lake
filming
would be
this and
top
stuff,
tier.
right?
So this will just be a live show. We're not going to film
Oh, okay,
this
okay.
one. But yeah, so if you're in Fire Island, come see it. But yeah,
But you're going to film some clips on your
Salt
phone,
Lake.
right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And send them to me
Yeah, it's
so I
going to be
can
a lot
post
of
them.
fun.
I want
I
to see.
think Salt Lake City for sure. And they had a great season last season. They're professionals and it's fun because I know them all now.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I only really watched Salt Lake City, Beverly Hills, but Beverly Hills is just, I don't know, it's weird at the moment, I
Yeah, I
think.
I'm
think they
excited
need
see
to
what happens with
recast.
the new New York. New New York with Carol back. I love Carol, so let's see what she
Yeah.
talks about with the Epstein files. We need to clear her name. I need to make sure she's not involved in that. Like people are saying they're going to boycott it because of that. Like Carol, I need you to be held to your feet to the fire a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think the
love you, so I
trailer
hope
looked
that you're
really good
not.
though. Did you
Yeah,
see the
I'm into
trailer?
it.
Yeah, it actually really exceeded my expectations because the last season was a disaster. But I'm with you. I'm excited for New York. Beverly Hills, I feel like you, Daisy. We need a lot of new cast members. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of sad, Amanda, they're not bringing Amanda back because I thought she was, she's kind of up there with Jen from Mad. I think she
Me
is somebody
too.
she really was the reason why I was watching it last season. She's just so unhinged. The stuff, I think what makes great TV is like, for me personally, is when there's so much unpredictableness. And I think someone like Jen from Med this season, I'm just like, what is going to come out of her mouth? Same with Amanda from Beverly Hills. Anyone who's predictable, who are usually the ones who are most loved, which is,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm always like, oh, yeah, well,
I
that
know.
was so
I think they're
predictable. They
so
didn't bring
boring.
it
I'm
up.
with you.
Yeah, so I'm kind of sad that she's not coming back. But obviously, Dorit, is she coming back? I know she's in the papers a lot at the moment
Yeah,
But yeah, I
I'm
agree.
bored
There's
of that.
just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Same.
it needs a
Same old.
revamp. I'll probably watch it, but it needs to go back to the OG days. Bring back the OG, and that's what Salt Lake City do so well. New York, the pressure's on. Obviously, they took a pause, and they had a huge revamp. And if the cast are smart, they know that's what's smart about pausing shows. They know how quickly it can fall out of their hands. So if they're smart, they'll bring it and give us some
And the
good
new, I'm
TV.
excited about the Golden Life. I want to see my old Roni girls on E. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to watch the Golden Life.
And the Ultimate Girls Trip is on. Like, we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Atlanta's having an amazing season. I watched the reunion just yesterday. It was so funny. Like, I'm such a big fan of Angela Oakley and Kay Michelle, and like
Those are my two favorites. I love
I
Angela.
love me too.
Kay. Yeah.
I love them. And Potomac's going to come back. I'm a huge Potomac fan. So we have so much to look forward to. It was so great having you guys on the show. Honestly, this was so much
Thanks for
fun.
having us.
Oh my God.
so
Thanks for
much.
coming on. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
and tell
So,
your husband we said hi.
oh, I'm going to. He will listen to this. He doesn't listen to my podcast. Like that sounds so bad. He's very proud of I started this thing kind of on an idea one day and I never thought it would actually be successful. So he's always like kind of bragging for me. He's like, this many people listen, yeah, he's like really proud. So, but that being said, he still doesn't listen because he only watches Below Deck.
That's
and
okay.
Salt Lake
Well,
City.
I've also have a lot of people in my life who are very proud of me and don't watch. My parents don't watch my shows.
My family doesn't know I have a show. They don't.
Marc's family doesn't even know he has a show, let alone listen to
Yeah.
it. Okay. Okay, we good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, my dad doesn't listen. There's no way. But he will listen to this one. So he gets his shout out and I will tell him. But again, thank you. Come back anytime. And
Thank you.
if you ever need an emergency guest or a guest, I'm here.
We're gonna have you on for sure.
I would
We'd
love
that.
love to
Yeah.
anytime, honestly.
Okay, fun, great.
All
We're
right.
all
So
looking for guests.
as we say to the audience at the end of every episode, you are now in the know for everything Bravo. Until next time, bye.